Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you went there in the first place? Or maybe you've been mid-conversation with a friend and poof, the word you were searching for just vanished? Chuckle softly. Oh, I've been there too. It's frustrating, isn't it? Like your mind's playing a little game of hide and seek with you. But here's the good news. What if I told you there's a simple 5-second trick that can help sharpen your focus, boost your memory, and make you feel more present, right here, right now? And the best part? It works immediately. No apps, no expensive supplements, no complicated routines. Just you, your breath, and a tiny shift in how you pay attention. Today, we're going to talk about why our brains sometimes feel a bit foggy after 60, and more importantly, how to clear that fog in mere seconds. By the end of this video, you'll have a tool you can use anytime, anywhere, to feel sharper and more grounded. Sound good? Let's get started. Now, before we dive into the focus trick itself, let's talk about why our minds can feel a little scattered as we get older. It's not just aging, it's life. We've got grandkids to keep up with, doctor's appointments to remember, maybe even a new hobby we're trying to master. Our brains are juggling a lot. But here's the thing. Science tells us our brains are still incredibly capable of growing and adapting, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. It's called neuroplasticity. Fancy word, simple idea. It means your brain can rewire itself when you give it the right kind of stimulation. And that's where this 5-second trick comes in. It's all about hitting the pause button on autopilot. You see, when we're distracted or stressed, our brains default to old habits, like forgetting where we put our keys or zoning out during a conversation. But what if, just for 5 seconds, you could interrupt that autopilot and choose where to focus? Let me show you how. Let's start with a scenario we all know too well. You walk into the kitchen to do something, but by the time you get there, your mind's already wandered to the laundry, the weather, or what's for dinner. Instead of letting frustration take over, here's what you do. Stop, right where you are. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it fill your lungs. And as you exhale, gently ask yourself, what am I here to do? That's it. 5 seconds. One breath. One question. This isn't just positive thinking, it's science. When you pause and breathe deeply, you activate the part of your brain responsible for focus and decision-making. That breath sends a burst of oxygen to your neurons, and the question acts like a flashlight, cutting through the mental clutter. Try it next time you're standing in a room thinking, now, why did I come in here? You'll be amazed how quickly your brain snaps into gear. Now, let's try another one. How about those moments when you're talking to someone you love, but your mind starts drifting to your grocery list or that thing you forgot to do yesterday? Happens to all of us. But here's how the 5-second trick can help. Next time you're in a conversation, take that same deep breath, and as you exhale, focus all your attention on the person in front of you. Notice the color of their eyes. Listen to the tone of their voice. For 5 seconds, let everything else fade away. This isn't just about being polite, it's a workout for your brain. When you practice intentional focus, even for a few seconds, you're strengthening those neural pathways that keep your mind sharp. Plus, you'll find your conversations become richer, deeper, more alive. And here's a little secret. The more you practice this trick in small moments, making a cup of tea, waiting in line at the store, the stronger your focus muscle becomes. It's like training for a marathon, but instead of running shoes, you've got your breath and your curiosity. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Can 5 seconds really make a difference? Well, let me ask you this. How many times a day do you check the clock, glance at your phone, or wonder what to do next? Those tiny moments add up. Why not reclaim a few of them to give your brain the reset it deserves? Think of it as a mental reset button. You're not trying to empty your mind or achieve perfect focus for hours, just 5 seconds at a time. And the more you do it, the more natural it'll feel. Before long, you'll catch yourself using this trick without even thinking about it. And that's when you'll really start to feel the difference. So far, we've covered how to use this trick to remember tasks and stay present in conversations. But what about those moments when your mind feels overwhelmed? Like when you're faced with a big decision or a problem that just won't solve itself. That's where we'll pick things up next. Until then, why not give this 5-second trick a try today? The next time you feel your focus slipping, take that breath, ask that question, and see how your mind responds. And remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about progress, one small, intentional moment at a time. Here's to sharper minds, calmer days, and the joy of discovering that our best years are still ahead of us. I'll see you soon. Let's talk about those times when life feels like a crossword puzzle missing half the clues, when you're staring at a big decision or a problem that just won't budge. Maybe it's a financial choice that's kept you up at night, or a family situation where you're not sure how to help. Our brains, bless them, love to spin in circles when we're stressed. But what if I told you that same 5-second trick could help you cut through the noise and find clarity? Imagine this. Your doctor recommends a new treatment, and you're torn. Part of you wants to say yes immediately. Another part is shouting, "Wait, let's research every side effect first." Your mind becomes a tug-of-war, and honestly, it's exhausting. Here's where the 5-second trick comes in. Instead of letting that mental storm take over, pause. Take that deep breath, inhale, and as you exhale, ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to focus on right now? Maybe it's the fact that your granddaughter's graduation is next month, and you want to be healthy enough to dance with her. Or maybe it's simply acknowledging, I need more information before I decide. That breath creates space. That question, it's like turning down the volume on panic and turning up the volume on wisdom. And here's why it works. Stress narrows our thinking. It pushes us into fight or flight mode. But when you pause and breathe, you signal to your brain, we're safe. We can think clearly now. Suddenly, that mountain of a decision feels more like a manageable hill. Now, let's try this with problem solving. Say you're trying to fix that leaky faucet yourself, because, hey, why call a plumber if you can handle it? But halfway through, you're surrounded by tools, the water's still dripping, and you're muttering, I used to know how to do this. Instead of frustration taking the wheel, stop, breathe in, and as you exhale, ask, what's the very next step? Not the whole solution, just the next step. Maybe it's find the shutoff valve. Or call my neighbor who's handy. Breaking things down into tiny, actionable steps keeps your brain from feeling overwhelmed. It's like untangling a knot, one gentle tug at a time. And here's the beautiful part. Every time you use this trick, you're not just solving a problem. You're rebuilding confidence. You're reminding yourself, I've got this, even if it takes a few tries. Let's talk about something we don't always admit out loud. Those moments when worry or sadness creeps in. Maybe you're sitting alone after dinner, and your mind starts replaying old regrets or fretting about the future. It happens to the best of us. But here's how the 5-second trick can be a lifeline. When you feel that emotional fog rolling in, pause. Breathe in deeply. Feel the air filling your lungs, and as you exhale, ask yourself, what's true in this moment? Maybe the truth is, I'm safe in my favorite chair. Or, the crickets are chirping outside, and my tea is still warm. This isn't about dismissing your feelings. It's about grounding yourself in the present. Science shows that focusing on sensory details, what you see, hear, feel, can dial down anxiety and bring you back to the here and now. I've had viewers tell me they use this while waiting for test results, or even during tough conversations. One gentleman shared that he uses it when he's missing his late wife. He'll breathe, look at her photo, and say, what's true? I loved her deeply, and that love's still here. It doesn't erase the pain, but it helps him carry it with a little more grace. Now, you might wonder, what if I forget to use the trick when I need it most? Oh, I've been there. That's why I recommend pairing it with something you already do every day. For example, every time you wash your hands, take that 5-second pause. Breathe and ask, what matters most to me today? Or when you pour your morning coffee, inhale the aroma, exhale, and set an intention. Maybe it's, today I'll focus on joy. Or, I'll listen more than I speak. Tiny rituals like this anchor the habit into your routine. Before long, it'll feel as natural as breathing. And here's the thing. This isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about redirecting the moments you already have, turning autopilot into awareness, turning scattered thoughts into purposeful action. So far, we've covered how to use this trick for decisions, problem solving, and emotional clarity. But what about those days when you're craving a spark of creativity, or just want to feel more like yourself again? That's where we'll go next. In the meantime, why not pick one of these techniques to try this week? Maybe the next time you're faced with a tough choice, or when you're savoring your morning coffee. Remember, it's not about doing it perfectly. It's about showing up for yourself, one intentional breath at a time. Here's to finding calm in the chaos, and to discovering that even after 60, our minds are still full of surprises. I'll see you in the next part. You know, there's a question I get asked a lot. Asterisk, can this 5-second trick really help me feel like myself again? Asterisk, maybe you felt it too. That quiet longing to reconnect with the person you used to be. The one who loved painting, or gardening, or telling stories that made everyone laugh. Life's responsibilities can dim that spark over the years. But what if I told you that spark isn't gone? It's just waiting for a little attention. And yes, those same 5 seconds can help you find it. Let's say you've been meaning to pick up an old hobby, something that used to light you up. Maybe it's playing the piano, or writing letters, or even dancing. But every time you think about it, that voice whispers, "It's been too long. What's the point?" Here's where the trick comes in. Next time you pass that dusty guitar in the corner, or the notebook on your shelf, pause. Take that deep breath, and as you exhale, ask yourself, what's one small step I could take right now? Not master a concerto, or write a novel. Just one step. Tune a single string. Write one sentence. Hum a melody while you wash the dishes. Those 5 seconds of focus act like a matchstick, reigniting the joy of starting. And here's the magic. Once you take that first tiny step, momentum often takes over. Before you know it, you've played a chord, written a paragraph, or twirled across the kitchen floor. Now, let's talk about something even deeper. Reconnecting with you. Not the you who's a grandparent, a caregiver, or a retiree. The you that exists beyond roles and routines. This might feel abstract at first, but stay with me. Try this. Tomorrow morning, before you check the news or make your tea, sit by a window for just 5 seconds. Breathe in, and as you exhale, ask, what do I need today? Maybe the answer surprises you. A walk in the fresh air. A phone call with my sister. Permission to do nothing at all. This isn't selfish, it's survival. Just like a garden needs water, your soul needs moments of listening. And those 5 seconds, they're the first sip. I'll never forget a letter from a viewer named Margaret. She'd spent years caring for her husband with dementia, and somewhere along the way, she'd forgotten what made her happy. One morning, she used the 5-second trick while staring at her overgrown rose bushes. She breathed, asked, "What's one thing I can do right now?" and grabbed her pruning shears. She wrote, "I didn't just trim the roses. I laughed for the first time in months." Turns out, joy was still there, hiding under the weeds. That's the power of this practice. It's not about fixing everything. It's about uncovering what's already alive inside you. So let's tie this all together. Whether you're trying to remember a name, make a tough decision, or rediscover a piece of yourself, that 5-second pause is your anchor. Breathe. Ask a simple question. Let your brain do the rest. And remember, this isn't about adding more to your day. It's about transforming the moments you already have. Waiting for the microwave? Pause. Breathe. Ask, what am I grateful for right now? Stuck in traffic? Breathe. Ask, what's one thing I'm looking forward to today? Small shifts create big changes. Over time, these seconds add up to minutes, hours, a lifetime of living with more presence and purpose. So here's my challenge to you. Sometime today, claim your 5 seconds. Use it to focus, to wonder, or simply to be. Then come back here and tell me about it in the comments. I read every single one. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might need a little boost. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more tips and stories to help you thrive after 60. Never forget, aging isn't about losing your spark. It's about learning new ways to let it shine. Thank you for being here, for trying, for showing up. Now go out there and reclaim your moments, one breath at a time. Here's to your next chapter. Make it unforgettable.